What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Batty Talks, the weekly Friday show that happens on Sunday. I'm Batty Shogun, and today I'm here to talk about a quote I was introduced to this past week, and I've just been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like more than I think about most things in my life. And that quote was, Monomania is a prerequisite of success. Okay? And what does that mean? Okay, so monomania is basically an obsession with one thing. An obsession with one thing. It's all you can focus on, it's all you can think about, it's all you can do. That's monomania. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking about compounding skills or diversifying skills, something like that. And I was basically talking about how it's good to be invested in a lot of different things, put your time into a lot of different things, and be good at a lot of separate things because you just never know what's going to happen, right? And being good at a lot of stuff, it's more of a stable path, right? But this idea, this quote, monomania is a prerequisite of success. I just can't stop thinking about it. And it's described as a truism, which is basically it's a statement that is obviously true. And this statement to me, it's not obviously true. It's pretty groundbreaking, right? Now this idea that you have to be obsessed with one thing to the point where you're basically not doing anything else. You're just doing that one thing in order to be successful in that thing. Well, it's kind of scary to me because for the longest time I've been all about this whole, hey, I'm gonna split my time up pretty evenly. I'm gonna try to do a lot of different things. And if the only way I can be successful is by completely focusing on one thing, then basically I've been wasting my time, right? And who's to say this quote is really true, but it's definitely stuck with me, this idea that you need to be obsessed in order to be successful. So let's just take a look at my life as an example here. So I think the main thing I'm focusing on now is YouTube. I think YouTube is probably one of my better paths towards sort of making an outside career, getting somewhere that isn't as traditional as normal. Not to say that's a bad thing. Um, but I do a little bit of other stuff. I'm at the boxing club at my university. That's not really, I wouldn't really say that's a path to success. I'm not that good at boxing. But and then I play bass and make some songs, make some covers and stuff like that with a couple other guys who play some other instruments. But making it in the music industry is also pretty tough. So I wouldn't say that's really a path to success either, right? And then more recently, I've started day trading, which is actually, I think it's taking up a little bit more time now. And I'm not moving big money amounts around. I'm not even going to say that I made money. um, but I've been putting a little bit of effort into that, a little bit of time, and just sort of seeing where I can get with that because we're sort of lacking on funds here. um, on a gaming YouTube channel, you kind of need money to buy games, but there's always more older games you could play, so that's not really a huge issue. But this idea, monomania, is a prerequisite of success. I'm gonna keep saying it. If if I spend all my time doing all these different things, I'll never be a successful YouTuber. It just won't happen, right? In order to, with this statement in mind, with this running with this statement, I have to be obsessed with YouTube, continuing it to do it over and over again every day for as long as I can. I can't just want to do it. I have to need to do it. I have to be doing it all the time. It has to come at a detriment to my health, to my body, to my cleanliness, to everything, right? To my relationships, to my work ethic. It has to come at a detriment to everything, okay? And all this is ignoring the fact that I'm also in college, which does take up time, right? So even it would come at a detriment to my grades, right? And we're getting destroyed by one-man army noob tubes here in this game, Modern Warfare 2. And that's kind of how I've been feeling recently, actually. Just getting destroyed by noob tubes. And it's not like bad stuff is happening. It's not like bad stuff is happening, but it's not really like anything good is happening either, right? You know, I put a lot of time into the past YouTube video. I really thought the ending was really good. I think that was probably the funniest ending I ever did to a video. And then it got sniped by WWE. I had to cut out parts of the end for copyright problems, like it was blocked worldwide. And you know, I just haven't had a usually before I would get a big video every once in a while, like 1,000 views every once in a while. I haven't had one in a long time, and part of the reason is because I've been a bit more less frequent with my uploads. But it does still, it takes its toll, right? It takes its toll. And this idea that if I'm not focused on this all the time, this will be what it is. This will be what it is forever, right? I will forever be bound to 100 view man, and I'll never get past 100 views, you know? I'll be that guy, you know? I'll be posting for 10 years these YouTube videos that never do anything, that no one ever sees, and I, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to be that guy. Um, but it's just completely brutal, this idea that monomania is a prerequisite of success. And I don't know if it's really true. I can't give you that answer. I can't even give myself that answer, but it just keeps running through my head. Should I ditch all this other stuff? Should I stop diversifying my time? I don't know. But I'll tell you if I ever find out. You can be sure of that. But that's going to be all the time I've got for you today. I would like to thank you so very much for listening to this episode of Batty Talks. And for now, this is Batty Shogun signing off. We ran out of time. Okay, nice.